Okay. How's everybody going? 2 weeks later, everybody good? Got this all figured out? 15 things under contract and we're all set? Yeah? Perfect. All right, into class. Go get them. Have a great day. You think? I think we can make it that way. All right. So, how many, got a couple people that said they were coming to today's class from the night class. Who came, was it the night class or now here at the day class? 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Gunny went to both. She loved it so much she went to both. All right, that was great. That was awesome. You know, that was perfect. She taught part of the night class. She came up and just said, I'll take it from here. All right. The same PowerPoint we did this morning. I could figure this out, Bob. Come on. How tough can it be? So it's good. Anybody that was not here the first session last time? Perfect. Oh, several. Good. See, this is perfect. Here's the thing. And we still have the same amount of people in the room. Right? I told you we're going to lose half. Right? It always happens. It was funny at the night session, we had like 50 people register. We had about 40 seats because usually people don't show up, right? And then like 60 or 70 people showed up. So we had to start bringing chairs in, right? And one of the guys joked who'd been to 100Ks before. He said, hey, Bob, just tell them it's the third session and half will leave. All right. Then we'll have all sorts of room for everybody. So that was kind of the ongoing joke. All right, so we got several new people. This is your first session. Okay, we'll get back. First session again. Raise your hand. All right. If you missed the first session, this is okay. How many of you of those, this is the first time you've been to 100K, period? Okay. Awesome. All right. So first session, people, go back to the group. Raise your hand. First time you're coming to this session now. Go around. Name, how long in the business, and company you're with.
Okay, so Renee Mott.
Yeah. Hey, Renee.
Hi.
How are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Awesome. I know you were out of town last time.
I was out of town.
Awesome. Good deal. And you're driving Betsy today.
Bertha.
Sorry. All right.
I had to get here.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Her car broke down yesterday. She wrote a contract while she was waiting for 3 hours for the AAA. See, I'm telling you, I don't post on Facebook, but I troll you. All right. I will. Okay. I will find out all I need to know about you. If you post it, I know it. All right. So I said a lot of times at the airport, I got nothing else to do, just hanging out, watching that. All right. Good deal. So Renee Mott.
Yep, since February, I've been in real estate.
Okay.
I had a construction company prior to that.
Oh, cool.
And so future home.
Awesome. Great. Welcome.
I'm Jimena, and I've been in the real estate for almost 2 years. 8 months with it.
Awesome. And killing it, by the way. Doing a great job. She's attended 100K last time, right? And is just killing it. Doing a great job. First timers? Yeah? No? Who's our next 4K?
I'm Isabella Uswico. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
I am not a realtor.
Oh, cool. Even better.
Yes. My friend Lisa, who's out of town, she was here at the last session, said this was just an awesome sales seminar.
Yeah.
And I hate sales.
Cool.
So that's why I'm here.
Awesome. Good deal. What line of work are you in?
Well, I'm a communications consultant, and I have a small business selling these little itsy-bitsy waterproof therapeutic weights.
Oh, cool. Very good. Awesome. It is. And you know what? And that's what we learn in the book, by the way, those of you who read the book, right? That these principles are these principles, right? And we kind of talked about last time how if I was teaching this to a group of chariot salesmen in Babylon back in 500 BC, it'd be the same stuff, right? Because success principles are success principles. So that's great. Welcome. That's great.
Thank you.
Hi, Tammy Reagan. I just got my real estate license in
Cool.
June.
Awesome.
And everything, so here I am. But prior to that, I was in sales for years in lighting and construction materials.
Awesome. Very good. Awesome. And you're the one that emailed me saying you were going to come to today instead of last night or to the night, whatever. All right? Perfect. Awesome. Good deal. Well, welcome.
Thank you. I'm Michelle DeJory. I've had my license for I've been working now, I guess, for about 1.5 years with Tom and St. Cyr with Colette.
Awesome. And the guys are in Tampa, right? Awesome. Good deal. So, Colette, you drugged somebody with you.
I did.
Awesome. Good for you. Good deal. Hopefully you won't be kicking and screaming when we're done. So, good deal. Everybody else, who's brand new? Okay. Yes.
Rick Mastercars. Got my license in December. I'm with Keller Williams, New Tampa.
Awesome.
Prior career, 23 plus years, retired U.S. Army.
Oh, good. Thank you for your service. Awesome. That's wonderful. Good deal. So, how long in the business now, Rick?
I actually signed up with them in January.
Perfect. Good deal. Welcome. That's perfect. Who invited you? Hi.
Oh, both.
Well, all right. You got drugged around. All right. Everybody's coming in. All right. Good deal. All right. Candy, you were here. You were at the night one, so we'll call it that.
Yeah.
Where are you going? Yep.
I'm Dee Dee Sheldon. I've been with FHR almost a year.
Awesome. Good. You know what? I love it. People with FHR I haven't had a chance to meet yet, so that's wonderful. Have we met before?
No.
I didn't think so. All right, but I know your name. All right, so that's awesome. Well, good to meet you. Awesome. Who else? Yeah, Sam.
Sam Pratha, I've been in the business for 16 years. I've been with Future Home for 2 years.
Oh, I think so. Very good. Awesome. Good deal. Anybody else wasn't here last time? Anybody first time? Yes, Jim. Oh, he's working on. Okay, Jim. Yes, you were here last time. I remember. He's trying to keep the camera on me. Yeah, Madison. Tell us about you. You know what? Your significant other, boyfriend. What do we call him? Fiance. Okay, thank you. I didn't want to overstep my bounds. All right. He's at Enterprise, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. See, I tell you, a troll. All right. I was going to remember that because I have a young man that I've been he's been our little brother from Big Brothers Big Sisters since he was in kindergarten.
Okay.
And we have nursed him through, literally nursed him through, all right? And he's about ready to graduate from USF. And so it's been a long process as we've worked through this. He'd be a first generation college graduate. You know, we put him through Calvary Christian High School. We kind of overstepped a little bit, what most big brothers do. If you ever, by the way, great program, you don't have to do what we did, all right? But Jeanette and I kind of took him under our wing and got him through. But I know Enterprise is a great place to start. Exactly. So I may just reach out and have a connection there.
Okay.
So awesome. So Madison, tell us about yourself.
Sure. So I'm Madison Barber, American Bank Shares Mortgage. We're one of FHR's sponsors. So if anyone needs any mortgage advice or have questions, I'll be around after the class as well.
Awesome. Great. Good deal.
Missy.
Awesome. Were you here last time? Okay, so I thought. Okay, very good. Awesome. Anybody else? First timers? Got a few that just walked in the door? All right. It's early. I'm just getting started and you're yawning already. That's trouble, all right? All right. So you get some coffee. There's coffee over there. There is? Yeah? Okay. There's some coffee. They should have some water. Hey, can you guys bring a couple pitchers of water? That'd be good. Healthy stuff. We have oranges, bananas, and nuts, right? Because that's what we do around here. There are no bagels and all. Well, there are some. Probably. What time is it? Yeah, there's probably still breakfast going on out there. All right. I stayed here last night. So if anybody really hungry, all right, just tell them you stayed. All right. Just you can say, you know what? Hey, I'm here for the free breakfast and go that direction. All right. So we're going to catch those of you that weren't here last time. Or this is the first session. We're going to catch you up real quick, and then we're going to jump into more meat. All right. Fair enough. Here we go. All right. Come on in. How are you? Okay, so we talked real quickly, well, not real quickly, but we talked a lot last time about mindset, right? And how critical that is, and that it all starts with this, that without the proper mindset, it's going to be a long haul in this thing. I got some really cool stories that are coming out of one of the young ladies in the night session already that has started to apply some of this stuff, all right? As far as, remember I told you, hey, there's somebody who needs a commission yesterday? Right? And I said, I guarantee that if you will apply what I'm about to tell you right now, you can come back in 2 weeks and have business that you didn't have today. When we get to the corn planting part, remind me to tell you the story of Sammy. That's a young lady named Sammy, and what happened to her over the weekend. So, all right, so proper mindset is critical. Remember, this is simple. I got this. Remember, this is our whole premise. We're not going to overcomplicate this thing. Excuse me a little bit. I'm fighting a little bit of a catch in my throat, so might get a couple coughs in there. Our mantra is this: we are not going to overcomplicate, right? Matter of fact, I was working on the PowerPoint last night. I was flying down, and I said I took 4 slides away, and boom, I said we're just going to hone in, because what I'm learning is too much information confuses the mind, right? We're just going to learn one way to do long division, right? Okay, like Samuel. We're not going to do all these tricky, okay, whatever. We're going to learn one way, and we're going to do it well, okay? So what we're going to do is hone this down so it really is this simple, and then after that, we just have to rinse and repeat, right? Just over and over and over again, okay? How often do you want to do it to make it happen? All right, fair enough? All right, it's simple. I got this. Understand the power of the mind. We talked about how some of us come from different parts of upbringings, different ways of being brought up, whether it be a positive atmosphere or a negative atmosphere. And no matter what, okay, that we're still in control of where we are, right? That I am where I am today because of choices I've made, right? That's the decision you need to have, or that's the talk you need to have with yourself. And so we talk about that. We're going to learn to replace fear and failure habits. Stop listening to the old you, because sometimes a lot of times the old you is not worth listening to, quite frankly. All right, it is for me. I have to remind myself all the time, I got to get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. And it's a daily task for me. It never stays done. It's like a shower. Okay, for some reason I got to take another one tomorrow, right? Or at least one, maybe one tonight and one tomorrow, right? It's just it just never stays done. So I got to continue to get rid of that old stuff. We're going to pre-play what it's going to look and feel like to achieve our goal. Sarah and I were having a discussion right before about acting as if, right? We're going to pre-play. We're going to act as if we've got it done. We're going to learn how to say things. Sarah and I were also talking about how a lot of people struggle with, okay, now that I'm getting traffic through in my traffic generating event, now how come I can't convert them? What's going on? What's the catch? And a lot of it is just self-confidence, right? A lot of it's just coming from the aspect of, you know what? I've got what they need. It's not like, a lot of times right now we've got the whole paradigm backward, right? That we're kind of coming at it from, well, I hope they really like me. Screw that. You've got something that they need. You've got a knowledge base that they can really have. You know how to connect them with the lender, right? That knows how to connect them with the title person that takes this whole process and puts it into a whole ball of wax that can get this thing done. All right, so you have the connections, you have the knowledge, you have all that they need. And as soon as you flip that switch and say, you know what? Boy, aren't they lucky to get the chance to meet me? Seriously. Once it's no longer, oh, I hope they like me, to, I don't care if they like me or not, all right? They should just thank God that they happened to turn right when they saw my sign, right? I'm just telling you, that's the attitude I've always had. And as soon as I had that attitude, it's pervasive, right? There's a fine line between arrogance, and I cross it a lot, all right? All right, between arrogance and self-confidence, all right? But you can be strongly self-confident and say, hey, you know what? I can provide you what you're looking for. I'm assuming you stopped into my open house because you have some type of interest in real estate, that you're not looking for lows. Right? Okay? Because this is not what, so with that in mind, let's, talk. How can I help, right? What can I do to help? All right. We're going to be honest about where we are and what's going to take us where we want to be. We're going to stop lying to ourselves too many times, all right? And again, if you guys are here the first one, again, forgive me. I'll fly through this quickly because I got to catch you. We usually have in the second session several people that weren't at the first, all right? So I want to catch up and get the whole global picture of what we're doing. Plus, it's not a bad reminder for us anyway, right? Okay, we stop lying to ourselves, trying to pretend we're further along the road than we really are. All right, if there's some things that we need to back up and change, we're going to back up and change them. Fair enough? All right? We're going to commit to being accountable for our actions. This is the part where I'm going to look myself in the mirror and say, I am where I am today because of choices I've made. All right, it's not the government's fault. It's not Trump's fault. It's not Black Lives Matter's fault. It's not Antifa's fault. It's not any of these people's fault. All right? It's I am where I am today because of choices I've made. Because you know what? There are people in my same demographic that have succeeded. Those are the people I choose to follow. Right? I'm not going to listen to the naysayers. I'm not going to listen to the people who tell me why it couldn't work for me. Yeah, but you were born. Yeah, but okay. It's not my grandparents' fault. Because it's not in my genes, right? Even though there's some of that stuff that's there we got to deal with, right? It's not my parents' fault. Yes, I know, we all had perfect parents, all right? Or we didn't have perfect parents. Guess what? Welcome to the club, all right? Big deal, all right? It's not, like I said, the government's fault. It's not society's fault. It's not anybody's fault, okay? I am where I am today because of choices I have made, all right? It's all on me, all right? And we got to get to that point. All right, imagine this, netting 100,000. We talked about the 100,000, just a number, right? We just chose it out of thin air. It may not be enough to motivate you. It may be so big that you can't even imagine it, all right? You need to pick a number that's for you. Now, why do we pick numbers? Sarah and I were talking about this earlier today, too. We had a little, probably 8-minute discussion. We covered a lot of topics, right? But here's the deal. Without numbers attached to things, all right, all your goals and your wishes and desires are fluffy clouds. Right? Okay, seriously. I mean, without something to attach, if you can't quantify something, then how do you know you made it? Right? And so it doesn't have to be money, but it has to be something that's measurable, right? And so with that in mind, we just chose a number because, by the way, remember this puts you in the top 3% of wage earners in the United States of America, puts you in the top 1.5% of real estate agents in the United States of America. All right? So it's an elite club. All right? And you know what? Every one of you can get there. There's no doubt in my mind. It's not that hard. You start to put together 3% of 200,000. It's how much? Well, we have to work on this. Okay. when Joseph, my oldest son, right? When Joseph, we started doing multiplication tables. We always started with okay. All right, Joseph, we're gonna knock these out. Okay, Dad. All right, we're gonna start with the 3s and the 6s. And I said, what? I said, every realtor's son needs to know how to multiply by 3 and 6. All right. I want you to be able to give me 6% of any number I give you. All right, any day of the week. All right. So we start with 3s and 6s, and so yeah. So 3% of 200,000 is 6,000. Thank you very much. Let's extrapolate that about 16 and a half deals, right? Takes you to 100 grand. Not that hard. 16 and a half deals. That's one deal every, or 1.5 deals a month. Okay,
Yeah.
which is come on, right? It's really not that hard. Really not that hard. Okay, if you start to break that down. By the way, FHR agents, go to FHR University if you want to look at. I got a probably 20-minute little class on game planning for the beginning of the year and how we call it reverse engineer, right? Okay, you take the end goal and say, okay, and that's what all goal planning is, by the way. Every real estate company teaches it or should, right? It's pretty simple, right? Or any salespeople. Hey, look, how much you want to sell? Let's break it down. Here's what I need to do today. All right, you take this big goal and put it down into bite-sized pieces. So we're going to imagine netting $100,000 in the real estate business, enjoying the real estate business, which means we're not going to dread this thing, right? If you're in this business to dread it, then get out. All right, you're not going to survive anyway, right? Because your people are going to sense that on you, and it doesn't do any good. Working with people you want to work with. All right. By the way, I know this is not really a sentence, but I did end in a preposition. However, I'm also. You guys ever listen to Verbal Advantage? You guys, I fell prey for this. Okay, so is that people judge you by the words you use, and so I got this. It's awesome, by the way. Okay, I'm increasing my vocabulary. I haven't listened to the whole thing. I've got it like 8 years ago, and every once in a while I'll pick it back up. But he talks about, and this is a misnomer. There is nothing, and he jokes around, even though your English teacher, Miss Thistlebottom, he calls her, told you that you're never allowed to end a sentence in a preposition. Trying to rework a sentence to make it so it doesn't end in a preposition, you end up sounding like Thurston Howell. All right. Hello, if you would just, you know what I mean? So he said, just end it in a preposition and just communicate properly. All right. Anyway, I'll get off on that. All right. How about this? Controlling the transaction for this transaction controlling you. How about getting on top of your situation, set underneath them? Right? I remember, I think it was Zig Ziglar used to say, when people would tell him, under the circumstances, he goes, what are you doing under those? He goes, get on top of it. Get on top of your circumstances, right? Under the circumstances. He goes, no, dude, get up from underneath the circumstances, get on top of them. You control the thing. Once you stop running around putting out fires, right? Because your fires have been put out in a very methodical method and system, right? So your day doesn't consist of speed returning texts because it jump, you know what I mean? And you're jumping every time this thing rings, bings, and dings, all right? Forget that. Learn to get to a point in your life where you can put it aside, right? And check it every once in a while, but you're not going to be, you want to be the thermostat, not the thermometer, right? Okay, you want to set the tone of the room. You want to be the thermostat, not the thermometer that's reacting to the temperature of the room. Does that make sense? Okay. Here's a good one. How about this? We're going to learn to control our finances. And we joked about reading a menu left to right. Okay? Get to a point in our life where we're reading the menu left to right instead of right to left. Think about that one for a little bit. Right? How many times have we gone in and said we've opened up a menu and said, what am I hungry for? And you look, $6.99. That. All right? I'm hungry for that. Well, you don't even like fried okra. Well, too bad. I like it today. All right? Because it's $6.99. All right? And so, get to the point where, hey, you know what? But if we get in charge of our finances and learn to gain control of them, all right? We'll even, like I said, we'll have some small breakout sessions. One of the things we'll talk about is speak the language of an investor. We're going to talk about that. I'll see if I can get Brian. Brian Heckman's doing you guys know Brian? Anybody know Brian? Okay, Brian Heckman's doing something for us over in Orlando. It's marketing to millennials and first-time buyers. But he's done it at Pro and GTAR as well. If you get a chance to grab one of his classes, it's good to do. I'll see if I can grab him to come in and teach some of that stuff as well. But we're going to also have a quick breakout session on, and all I'm going to do is introduce the 7 habits that Dave Ramsey talks about. By the way, his habits are, those what's he call them, baby steps or whatever, those 7 baby steps. They're just sound financial principles, right? Okay, it's, hey, you want to stop going into debt? How about this? Spend less than you make. There's a novel thought, right? Okay, that's deep, Dave. Can I buy a book for that, please? All right, but you turned it into a great company. All right, but come on, it's not rocket science, right? What we're talking about and how to do it. And none of this is. Remember, at the end, we're going to talk about that. It's not what to do is not the problem. To do is the problem. Because remember, I gave you that really wise, okay, this one you can write down. It's not on the PowerPoint. You ready? Take notes on this. The difference between those who do and those who don't is those who do. Okay? It's so true, right? It's just, they just apply whatever they've learned that day. Right? So many times we learn, never apply, never get anything done. All right? So we're going to learn to do that. Once your life be true to your priorities, discover your purpose in life, attacking each day with energy and vitality. None of us were put on earth to sell real estate. We talked about that. There's something deeper. All right? There's a bigger reason why you're here. We're going to help you discover that. And once you discover that, real estate can be a means to an end. Right? A way to get to the point where you can spend more time, energy, and money doing what you truly are passionate about. All right? And whatever that may or may not be. All right? For Colette, it's travel. You like to travel, don't you? See? I could tell that. Again, Facebook is, okay, you got to be careful what you put out there. But it's good. I'm with her. I mean, I love, you know what? If I don't have a flight booked in my Southwest account, it's like, I'm starting to Jones. I'm like, all right? I'm tapping that, looking for a vein. I got to get a trip going, right? Okay? And so make that happen. All right. Create residual income from the real estate business? How's that possible? I'm telling you, it's possible. You can build your business. The operative word is what? Business. Right? We aren't just trying to sell real estate. Right? Selling real estate is selling real estate. But how do we create a business? Now, the way you do that, okay, is, remember I told you I am where I am today because choices I've made? That's one of Stephen Covey's habits of seven habits of highly effective people. All right? Here's another one he talks about. Start with the end in mind. Right? Whereas if we're going to reverse engineer our real estate business, right, we're going to start with the end in mind, picturing me sitting on a villa in Tuscany and checking my bank account, and there's more in it today than there was yesterday from selling real estate in the United States, even though I'm in Italy. How's that happen? Well, it's because we have to reverse engineer the thing. We got to see it there first and say, now let me build it so I can get there. Fair enough? Make sense? All right. This is simple? Yeah, it is. All right. It's really, because I'm telling you, it is simple. All right. Do not overcomplicate this. Promise yourself that. All right. Do not make this tougher than it is. All right. I'm going to tell you the story of Sammy Gustafson, and she's got nothing you don't have. All right. And she's already made some changes in her life that are making some changes in her life. All right. Okay. Sounds great. How are we going to do it? This is simple. Yeah, you do. Study those who are doing it or have done it. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to create anything new. We're just going to study people that are successful. All right? We're not going to reinvent the wheel. We're going to learn from others in the room because all of us in here have a knowledge base that we can share with the group. That's the cool thing about a group dynamic. All right? All right, what Tiffany has, all right, that she gives today is what Jimena is going to give back to Tiffany tomorrow. All right, it's just the way it works, all right? There's that synergistic relationship. We're going to submit to the law of the harvest. Remember, this is where we talked about we showed the little red hen, right? Okay, because the little red hen, who will help me plant the seed? Not I, said meowed the cat. Not I, quacked the duck. All right, all those kind of things. Who's going to help? But they all wanted to help her eat the bread, right? Okay, so we understand that if I'm going to reap, I have to what? Sow, period. All right? And that in our business, it's quite evident, is it not? Do you know right now that you are having closings today for work that you did probably 6 to 9 months ago? Right? So with that in mind, let's do the work so that we can get to the point where we're actually reaping down the road. Okay? Too many times we're like, oh, I can't believe, well, okay, your problem isn't today, it was 6 months ago. Right? So let's start that process now. All right, let's get it going. We're going to learn from our mistakes, which is kind of cool. Right? Because it allows us to make them. Nothing wrong with that. Remember the proverb, where there are no oxen, the stable is clean. Right? We want messy stables. It's okay to have a messy stable. Why? Because messy stable means things are happening, all right? Grow personally, because here's the deal. We're going to stop chasing, start attracting business, right? Who wants to chase it? Nobody wants to chase business. You want to attract it. But in order to be to attract business, you have to be attractive, right? And that means in all areas of our life. Remember we talked about the LYs, right? Spiritually, emotionally, physically, intellectually, and then financially, right? And financially comes at the end of all those changes that we made, all right? Very holistic approach to what we've got going on. I'm going to feed off the synergy in the room because other people start making things happen. You're like, dadgum, if they can, I can, right? It's just dadgum. That's how we say. That's a Tennessee term, dadgum, all right? I was telling the smaller group, okay, Nashville, we had total eclipse, all right? Anybody go up there and see it? Anybody get to the point where they could see total? I'm telling you, next time it's in town, go find totality. There's a huge, I mean, I watched it go from 98 to 100, all right? And 98 to 100 was, that 2% was multiplied, that's like a exponentially 1,000 times difference. All right, when it went black, I was telling the group earlier, it went black, it went dark. I'm talking cicadas and crickets came out, street lights came on. I could see both Mars and Venus showed up in the sky. It was dark. I had no idea it was going to be like that. None. All right, I mean, they kept telling me that it was, and then I also said, it was a 360-degree sunset. It was like a sunset all the way. I turned around, it was 360. It was really cool. If you get a chance, next time if there's one around, go find it. I mean, I know it's only was like an hour, a minute and 42 seconds. That's a long way to go for a minute and 42 seconds. Plus there's some really cool pictures on NASA's site and everything else. I get it, but to actually experience it, it's pretty cool. All right. So I'm going to feed off the synergy in the room. Stop making and accepting our own lame excuses, because we all do. Right? Yeah, but I had the kids, my strep throat. I get it, okay? I'm with you, all right? I have kids as well. It's easy, all right? Easy to allow ourselves to find the teacher, this is my son's, needed someone to come in and deliver glue sticks, okay? I get it, right? Trust me, I've delivered glue sticks, all right? I understand all that, right? The problem is we cannot let it get in the way of other things that we are tasked to do, right? And we do. Because you know why? Because it's easier to do those things, and we can still look at ourselves in the mirror and say, oh, I was busy today. Yeah, but were you effective? Right? Oh, but my child, I get it. All right? They'll survive without the glue sticks. All right? Lick it and stick it like bam. All right? They'll stay for a while till the glue sticks arrive. All right. Live in accountability. This is a huge one. We're going to learn to do this, because if you don't want to do that, all right, it's not going to work. I'm telling you now. Everybody understand that? Yes. If you're not going to have a true accountability partner, one that's going to help you look at numbers, not one that's going to sit there and say, allow you to say, oh, I met with a few people. Okay, really, what are their names and numbers? Who were they? Can I call and verify? That's the kind of accountability partner you want. I'm just telling you, right? Because if not, it's really say, oh yeah, I did it. Did you? Did you? All right? I mean, seriously, did you? I mean, can I call a couple and then verify that? Well, where'd you go for your one-on-one meetings? Just to have 3 coffee meetings this week. Yeah, where'd you go? Coffee. Okay. I get that. We covered that already. Where? Tell me the date and place. All right. There's an app. I guess I was working in my son's my son's high school football game concession stand. Got that? And the guy next to me said, because I have a 9th grader now, he has a 9th grader and 11th grader, but he's got this app that's like called Life 360 or something. Mm-hmm. You guys seen that? Kind of tracks them everywhere they go. But he's on it as well. So that was the trade-off. He said, hey, look, so everybody gets to track each other and see. But he could tell, like, hey, last night my son left the house, went and drove 4.2 miles to such and such. Here was his average speed. Yet, it's all sorts of, it's kind of like big. It's like, well, we all know the government has it on us anyway. All right. But all they're doing is sharing a little small portion of the app with us. All right. So That being said, maybe we get that with our accountability partner, okay? Show me and say, where were you? Okay, oh, you said you were at Starbucks with Starbucks. I'm not seeing it. You're only there for 3 minutes. So what do you mean you had a deep conversation with somebody for 3 minutes?
Or Povich says you lied.
That's right, exactly. Test came back, DNA test come back, and, all right, you are not the father. All right. All right. Okay, turn off the television. Speaking of Maury Povich, turn off the television.
Yeah.
Right? Stop it. That is, you know what? If you turned off the television, you could still make your calls and deliver glue sticks. Right? But the problem is, you're wasting your time. And some of this is Facebook too, right? Turn off some of that other stuff, and it's myself included, me talking to me, right? Some of these things, okay, look, are we just using these as excuses to not get things done? All right? Live a disciplined life because there's freedom and structure. Love that, don't we? The more structured we are, the freer we become. How's that work? It just does, right? That as I start to get things organized, and I feel so much, and it becomes cumulative. It starts to stack on itself. You know how like sometimes you feel like you're getting buried, right? And it's like cumulative the wrong way, right? Stuff's just like, oh my gosh, it keeps coming and coming and coming and coming, right? Once you get on top, all right, it just keeps coming and coming and coming and coming, and it's just amazing what opens up when you actually structure yourself and get in a position where you can go, all right? How many years in the Army?
23 and a half.
23 and a half years, all right? Some forced structure there, right? Okay? So that's the beauty of a place like the Army, right? Is that you will be structured, all right? Or you'll be out, right? The problem with real estate or any other independent sales, independent contractor type thing is that there is no master sergeant, then major, then captain, then whatever. I probably saying in the wrong order, so forgive me. All right, telling me what to do and where to be and when to be, right? I learned. I'll be honest with you. I worked a lot with VA buyers, and some of them we do a great disservice sometimes, or we have to remember that some of my VA buyers, I came in and they were first-time home buyers, these VA buyers, and they came in and they called me the next morning, hey, it was great, but we didn't have any electricity. I said, yeah, you set that up, right? Oh, they didn't do that? They're used to everything was being done for them, right? We've coddled them to the point too sometimes, so don't be just word of advice, for you got veteran buyers, make sure you have a checklist. Hey, did you remember to turn on your water, turn on your electric, all that kind of, oh, really, I have to do that? Right? Because a lot of times it had been done. They moved into base housing and stuff was there. All right? It was always on. So realize that. But back to our structure is that the more structured we are, the freer it becomes. It becomes a very, I'm just telling you, all right? And I know when I'm and I still at times let myself get buried, right? And when I'm on top of things, I just feel so much better, all right? When my inbox is cleaned out, all right, and my emails are returned and all that stuff, it's just a better feeling, and I sleep better, all right? Just make it happen, all right? Actually implement this time. Quit talking about it. Quit saying you're going to implement. This is the one time I promise that next time if I just go to one more class, all right? Remember we talked about go learn, and learn how to write contracts, right? So you better know your contract and know it well because you're representing clients, all right? And know how to evaluate property. Other than that, until you make $250,000 a year in this business, do not worry about GRC or what's it? CRS, GRI, thank you, okay? Do not worry about any of that stuff. All right, please. All right, if I'm catching you early enough, all right, if you're already in them, great, go get them, all right? You've gone this far, finish it up, I get it. But it is not, I'm just telling you, I see real estate agents wasting time going to class. If they would just stop learning and start doing, okay, be way better off. Way better off. Except this class. No, and the value is that, again, we're going to learn after these first two sessions, it's going to be all group dynamic. That's the only reason you come. It's more of a support group. We talked about the group dynamic. I don't think we talked about this session. I've taught these for so long, I forget when I've said it, and plus I teach 4 in a row, so it's hard for me to remember what I've said. Did I tell you about, some of you have heard the story before, the running group? All right, so I live outside of Nashville. Well, I live in Nashville now, but I was living outside of Nashville at the time in Brentwood, Tennessee, right? And I got up one morning, a Saturday morning, and I was going to go to a men's Bible study at our church. It started at 6, right? So I was on my way to this men's Bible study. I thought I'm going to go grab a cup of coffee in this little local coffee shop inside this strip mall that was there. And it was January, right? So I remember getting up and getting in my car And as soon as I pulled out of the garage and my outside temperature thermometer could adjust, all right, it was like 8. Okay? 8 degrees. All right? Which I love, by the way. I mean, I like, it wasn't, it was just, you had to wake you up, boy. Let me tell you something, okay? Step outside in that. So it was 8. And I drive in, and it's like 5:40 in the morning because I was going to go grab my coffee. And I get in the strip mall, and there are like 50 cars in the strip mall. It's like, holy cow, everybody want coffee? All right? I said, geez, what? No, nobody was at the coffee shop. I looked over, and there was a group of people all huddled around this one store, right? I was like, there's like black, what is it? I thought that was last month, right? Okay. Or what it was a running store, right? And this group of 50 people were all there. They were going to go on a group long run together, right? Because they were training for the Music City Marathon. That was coming up in March or April, whenever it was, right? And in my mind, I thought, you know what? Here's what happened. About 50 people there. I guarantee about 40 minutes ago, 50 alarm clocks went off, right? And all of them looked at it and they checked their phone and said, 8? 8 degrees? I don't think so. So their natural indication, if it had just been them, what would have happened? I'll run inside later, right? Or right? But when they know the group is there, right? They don't want to be the one to not show up, right? So they get up and they drag themselves out and they push themselves together, right? Okay? When we're on a group pack run, right? Well, I'm sorry, your first name? Rick. So you're only as strong as your weakest link, right? So behind it's everybody, hey, you know what? You can make it. Let's go. There's that great video out there on YouTube of that one young lady that was trying to climb that hill. Remember, and they all pushed her along and they encouraged her because she had to do it on her own. They couldn't assist her, but and she finally made it to the top of that hill and got it done. Maybe it was somebody with even missing a leg or something. They were just incredible stories of people. But it's the group dynamic that gets you going, that does all this stuff, all right? So that's what we want to get. That's where we want to be, is actually implementing, all right? Trust the process. We're going to sit there and say, okay, this works. Let's do it. It's worked for other people. Let's do it. I'm going to trust the process, all right? When you're making a cake and you're following the recipe and you start stirring all that stuff up and you're putting it in, you're like, really? This is going to taste good? Right? And you're thinking, really? That goes in? Really? Right? At the end of the day, you trust the process, and if you did it right, it comes out fine, right? Because it's worked for other people. It had 4.8 stars on its reviews, right? So we're all good. Okay, but during the process, sometimes it's hard to trust that it's all going to work out okay. So we have to trust the recipe is what we're saying, all right? Get that done. Consistently evaluate progress. If you weren't here, go back and check the last one. We talked about our trip to the moon. Remember that? Trip to the moon, how we're going to evaluate our progress very often. We're going to make a series of small tweaks. More often is better than one major tweak trying to create it on November 18th, right? I got to make a huge adjustment for my year. Well, if I had made small adjustments every Sunday night since the beginning of January, remember we talked about it's easier, it's easier to lose 2 pounds than it is to lose 80, right? So let's catch it now when I can make a small tweak, a small adjustment, and get done. Fair enough? That's how we're going to do that. All right, so let's talk about this. We talked about 2 systems, if you remember. One was called corn planting, right? And that was fast. We call it corn because corn you plant late May, early June, and you're usually eating corn by late June, early July. It's fast, okay? It's almost, you can watch it grow. It's a quick process. The reason we teach this is because there are people that are coming to me and say, hey, you know what, Bob? I'm on a very thin thread here, all right? I haven't been able to get things going in this real estate business, and I'm about ready to go back to whatever. Teaching accounting like in the book, right? Is that what he was going to go back to? His dad said, just get a good accounting job or something. Is that what he told Rick? You know what book I'm talking about? Book? Okay, good. All right, let's make sure we're on the same page here. All right, literally. So I'm going to teach you, again, I said, you know what? If you apply what I'm about to teach you right here, all right, you will have new business that you didn't have 2 weeks ago, all right, if you're willing to do it, okay? So this is simple. Okay. Yeah, it is. If you're going to last in this business, everybody else is teaching us, you better what? List. Yeah, thank you very much, all right, because you've been here before. Everybody else is saying list, right? Says, oh, why you got to list? You got to list because your listings will lead you to your buyers. Well, that's great. Well, how do you get that listing? Well, go get them. All right? You know what? right? Go get them. What does that mean? Yeah, just, farming area. Okay, what does that mean? Go get them. All right? Seriously, they don't have to tell you that, or you go to some seminar, but here's the thing. People are going to list and trust their listing with people they know, like, and trust, right? So there are a couple ways. You already have some people that may know, like, and trust you, but they may not trust you so much. Hey, I trusted you as a hairdresser, but I don't know if I trust you as a real estate agent, right? I trust you to make my pizza. Not so sure I trust you to sell my home, right? So you know them, and I understand. You got to think about it from the consumer standpoint, right? From a consumer standpoint, somebody is totally brand new. If you had to hire, let's say this, I got a nephew that's fighting for his life right now. He has a dissected aorta, right? All right, it's somehow he got in a car accident and kind of, it was 10 days later, he started having back pain, and next thing you know, they figured this thing out. He's in California, actually. And, but who do you want doing that surgery? Yeah, the best, right? Would you not? I'm telling you, I don't care. If Jeanette and I were talking about it, because we just are, Jeanette's went on and said, oh, that hospital has, this doctor, that, you know what I mean? And in 5 minutes, she was able to check out. She goes, by the way, if this ever happens to me, you get me to Massachusetts General. They're the best that ever does this, and right outside of Boston. Yeah, but if you're in California, I don't care. Get me there, right? Figure it out. FIO, right? Just make it happen, right? And that's the truth, right? So if someone's trying to sell their home and you're brand new, but you're their friend, or you're the daughter of their coworker lady who works with the mom, okay? Or you got somebody that sold 52 homes in that subdivision last year. Okay, I like you. You're nice. But, right? That guy's a jerk. But he sold 52 homes last year, right? I get it, right? So from a consumer's point, so how are we going to compete with that? My goal is that we don't, right? We go work with the buyers, and then we prove our worth, and then now we become know, like, and trust, and now we can, because quite frankly, to be honest with you, you're probably as good, if maybe just a slight, you're not have as much experience, but technically what the guy who sold 52 last year and what you're going to do to market the home, is not that different. I'm just telling you. Signing the art, MLS, lockbox, brokers open. Okay, go through the list, right? Okay, put it out on List Hub so it gets out truly as enhanced listing with Realtor.com, right? Everybody, that's pretty much the same stuff. Would we agree with that? Can we say that? Are we honest enough with ourselves okay? That being said, they don't know that, right? And you saying it isn't going to convince them that you are as good as the guy who did 52. So what you want to do is get to the point where they don't interview the guy with 52 because you sold the niece the home, right? Remember was it Aunt Gertie? Who is it we told the story of, right? Aunt Gertrude, right? That said, you have to do it. So that's how we want to get. So we're going to learn, again, if you're just newer in the business, if you want to get your whole business cranked up, I'm going to teach you how to work with buyers, and your buyers are going to lead you to listings. Now, Colette and I had an interesting discussion after the class, briefly, right? Outside in the lobby. Can I be honest with you? Long term, right? How do I sell a home while I'm sitting in a villa in Tuscany? You have the listing. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you, right? But I also am not going to lie to you and say, hey, look, just go poof, do it, right? I'm going to show you how to get there. But it's a process, right? You're not going to, you might be going to Italy tomorrow, but don't expect to sell houses if you just got in the real estate business and go to Italy tomorrow, all right? Are you with me? Are you tracking? Okay, got it. All right, so we're going to teach you to work with buyers. That's great, okay? How do we do that? We're going to have traffic generating events. What does that mean? Get people in front of you face to face. Remember, eyeball to eyeball beats pixel to eyeball any day of the week, right? It's a very long hashtag, but it works, okay? Eyeball to eyeball beats pixel to eyeball any day of the week. A lot of consumers do online shopping. I get that, all right? The good news about real estate is a very highly emotional transaction, all right? I don't ever see in the near future us being replaced by robots. I really don't, all right? There's too much emotion involved. That's good news, right? We're still involved. We're still active in the process. Everything's, good to go. But once you get eyeball to eyeball with somebody, all of a sudden the Facebook or the sidebar ads on Zillow don't even appear. to them, right? Why? Are we going to tell them, hey, ignore Zillow? No. I would advise against it because they're going there anyway. Plus, you tell me not to do something, what's the first thing I'm doing? All right? Okay, don't think of a pink elephant flying over your head right now. Oh, there it is, right? Okay. How could you not, right? And so I had to learn that when Jeanette kept reprimanding me because I would say, you know, in parenting, right, you don't say don't do the negative, you affirm the positive. All right? Don't touch that hot stove. Okay, how about this? Keep your hands back. Right? You want to affirm the positive, what you the action you want to occur, because all they hear is touch the hot stove. Okay? They missed the do not part. All right? So that being said, we want to make sure that in our traffic generating events that we are going to get eyeball to eyeball with people so that therefore, yes, they're going to go on Zillow, but they're not even paying attention to the sidebar ads anymore. They're not even tempted to call the person on there because you've educated them and you've won them over. Now, how do we do that? That's what we're going to get really good at. That's the part when they're lucky enough to get a chance to meet me. All right? Well, that's where that comes in. All right? So, bank-owned open houses. Here's why we teach this. You generally will generate more traffic at a foreclosure open house than you will at a regular open house. Period. So, Sammy Gustafson, I told you I'm going to tell her story. She comes to me last Wednesday night or 2 Wednesday nights ago and says, hey Bob, I've been in the business a little while and I've done a lot of open houses and it's just not working for me. She goes, so all right, are you telling me this? I said, it worked for me. I mean, I think I told you my story, right? Okay, where I said it worked for me. I can't promise it will work for any one person. I'm just telling you, I know that if I can get more ups, all right, I'm going to sell more cars. Right? And so if a guy calls in sick and I get 3 times as many chances to talk to a potential Nissan buyer, all right, then I'm going to have 3 times better chance of selling a car today. Are you with me? So if I'm going to go spend my time somewhere, why not go spend it where I'm actually seeing people? So with me, bank-owned open houses were the sugar that brought the ants and I was able to meet more people. Did I enjoy them? Did we talk about the fact that people would say, why are you sitting out here on the porch? And I'd say, go in and take a whiff yourself, all right? Okay, you'll understand. You guys ever been to a bank-owned foreclosure? Okay, there's some nasty stuff going on in those things, right? They've been sitting empty for, 8 months in Florida with water, with a slow leak in the roof.
Squatters.
Yeah, squatters, exactly. Things like, I saw stuff spray painted on the walls. If you buy this house, we'll come back and kill you. All right. Okay, that's nice. That's just, all sorts of things, okay, to entice buyers to want to buy that home. All right. So, but people come. So Sammy Gustafson, she goes, are you telling me? She goes, what do I do? How do I get a bank-owned open house? I mean, I don't have any, I'm not a bank-owned REO, listing agent. So well, you go find them. She said, okay, well, how do you do that? Matter of fact, she even asked me, she posted the next morning or that night, I think she got home, Bob, because I said, I think I created a little email, just a sample email that you can use to, reach out to a REO listing agent, kind of doing it. She goes, yeah. I said, just remind me, I said, tag me in a post, say Bob, bank-owned email, and then I'll find it in the thread and I'll bump it back up. So I did that, she did that, and I did it that night. So here's a little sample. Again, tweak it to however you want it to say, right? So Saturday, I was at Samuel's soccer game, actually before the soccer game, picture day, all right? So I was waiting for him to get his pictures taken. All of a sudden, get a frantic call and a text. I get a call, I didn't recognize the number, so I let it go to voicemail and get a text. Bob, this is Sammy. Can you call me right away? Jim's at the Florida Realtors Convention. All right, so I tried him already, so she knew what my answer was going to be. All right, so I call her back, and she goes, hey, look, I was sitting in a bank-owned open house today. I said, oh, good job. She goes, got a guy walked in and wants to make a cash offer, and it's a Fannie Mae deal. I don't know what to do. I said, well, let's see. I said, really, it's not this. She goes, I've already researched a little bit, so we walked through the FAR bar. You're going to use the FAR bar. You're going to amend it with the, they said they should have some attachments there. So reach out to the listing agent. Sometimes they're helpful. Sometimes they're not. It doesn't work, So walked her through it, all right? I said, that's all. I said, by the way, Sammy, I said, how'd you get this bank open house? She goes, I just started calling people and it took me like 2 or 3, and I found somebody who was willing to let me do it. And I'm sitting here, and the guy walked in, and he's ready, his cash offer, ready to go. I said, kind of cool, all right? While the rest of the world sat home and wondered, what CRM do you think is the best one to use? Who gives a flying flip, right? Go meet somebody eyeball to eyeball. right? Quit worrying about your CRM when it makes no difference in the world about whether or not your bank account's going to grow in 4 weeks from now, right? Anyway, sidebar. So I just followed up with her yesterday. I said, hey, how'd that go? She goes, oh, we're actually in a multiple offer situation, of course, like on these things. She goes, but at least it's going. She goes, but I got to tell you, the next day I had a different open house, different thing. And I said, I've got 2 more buyers, and both have already made offers on other properties. 3 people, 3 offers made, while you sat home saying, does this really work? I'm just telling you. She didn't wait around for me to tell her what to do, other than, hey, she inquired, hey, Bob, how would you go about doing this? I just gave her some brief instruction, and she figured it out, okay? That's not gonna work for everybody? I don't know, all right? All I can tell you, and by the way, if you meet Sammy, self-admit, I mean, she's kind of tatted up. I mean, she's not like, she is, right? I mean, have you met Sammy? Do you know Sammy? Okay? No. Okay? She's kind of, I mean, I can't remember what industry she came out of, but it's just not like she's, walking around in Prada and pearls, right? I'm just telling you. It's just, she's just, but she relates, because, remember we talked about, for the disc profile will tell us that you're probably going to be able to relate really with about 25% of the people that walk in the door, right? The problem is that the other 75% needed you instead of me, right? So they need you out there so they can relate to you, and so until, you know what I mean? So we just keep going. So she just met a lot of people, and things happen, and here she is, and she's just making things happen. And remember me? The HUD foreclosure booklet, I was trying to figure out, how do these work? I'm like, I don't know. I got to get to that chapter, right? You just figure it out. You just go along and make sure that things happen, all right? So bank-owned open houses just generate traffic. Now, if you got a better way to generate traffic, that you don't have to sit in a mold-infested, sit out on the porch in August in Florida when it's 100. You guys were posting everybody yesterday in Facebook. It's like 100, really hot here yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah. People's like 106. My thing's okay. Wah, shut up and you go to work. Jeez. All right, I don't care if your car broke down. I know you were. All right. But just go do something, right? Agents come to us when people want gym, right? They come in and say, hey, do you guys offer any floor time? I said, sure we do. Right there. Got all the floor time you want. Right? Because why did you want to sit in an office waiting around for, you know what I mean? Go meet people where they are. Where does real estate transactions occur? Right? Just go out and get to people where they are, right? So why these? Just because when I meet 36 as opposed to 3, I've got a 12 times greater chance of meeting a buyer who wants my help. Period. All right? That's the only reason. And if you got a better way to generate traffic, go for it. Guys, how many of you guys have been around here a while? Anybody? All right? Been like over 15, 20 years? Anybody been in the area? Okay. Yeah, in the area. Do you remember the hot dog girls?
Yes.
All right? Do you guys remember these?
Yeah.
Okay, so hot dog girls, they would sit out like on Olmerton, right? They'd be right on Olmerton with a hot dog cart in a tea bag, right? Which you never, it's like, I'm not so sure I trust. I don't know if the health department's been by this one lately. All right. So, well, actually, there were a lot of health department guys kind of hanging out, probably, right? Say, but why? Yeah, right, exactly. Hey, can you pick my pen? All right. Why the tea bag? Why?
That sells.
Absolutely, right? And it was a traffic generating event. Are you with me? Now, I'm not saying that's not what I'm promoting here, all right? Okay? But the idea is when you get more people coming through, right, you're going to have more chances to relate to somebody. So if you're going to sit somewhere and you're going to meet 3 or 36, I say 36 is better. Okay? So that's the only reason we do these. Not because we like them, but no other reason other than we're going to meet them. And we're going to get good at this. This is the part over the next 6 sessions after this, we're going to continually work on that with people. All right? Okay, as far as corn planting is concerned. Got it? We're going to learn to convert. And a lot of it, though, is going to go back to what? Our personal growth, so that we can have the confidence that we need. So when people are walking up the driveway, I can honestly say in my mind, they have no idea how lucky they are in that next 5 seconds they get a chance to meet me. Seriously. Right? That's just where, do you remember? And I also did a video. By the way, if you go into the old files from last time, all right, take a look on the 100K group page. Right there's a video I created. People, what do you say when people walk in an open house? And I would just go through, hey, and it was like 2.5 minutes long. I just talked about, hey, here's what I do, kind of, how I work with buyers. And at the end, I don't know if you guys remember this, I say this. I've gotten so good. Jimena was your name, right? Hey, Jimena, you know, it's funny. I've gotten so good, and I love working with buyers so much that now, I mean, quite frankly, when people choose not to use me to help them represent them purchase a home, I'm kind of shocked. And I just stare at them, right? I would. It's like, because I am. I'm like, how in the world would you choose somebody else? I'm like, you're an idiot, right? Sir, that was the attitude I have. It's like, go ahead, make the biggest mistake of your life, but if I were you, I'd use me, right? And I truly felt that. Now, I wouldn't say idiot to them and all that, but I would promote the idea that I've got what you need, right? And that's, you know, it's just the way it works, okay? So we're going to become an expert in investor buying because you're going to meet investors. By the way, 2 out of the 3 that Sammy's working with are investors, right? Are they looking for deals? Absolutely, right? Trust me, you're going to meet all sorts of them, but you need to be able to speak a language different than, hey, here's what the monthly payment's going to look like. That's first-time home buyer guide kind of deal, right? The investors want to know about cap rate and ROI and all these other kind of things. So we're going to learn to speak that language when we run across them. Okay? Be intelligent in that. We're going to work first-time home buyers with vigor, right? Why? Because they're loyal. All right? They're loyal. A lot of other people don't want to work with them. And get this, they will lead you to the $600,000 Northeast St. Pete listing. Yeah, really? The $120,000 buyer? Yep. I'm telling you, that's the niece of the Aunt Gertie. All right? Who owns the house on Snell Isle. All right? Waiting for you to list it. Okay? It's just the way it works. All right? That's what, I mean, let's go to our Tampa side. Let's go to the Davis Island listings, waiting for you to be met. Right? Where? See, I'm just telling you, I can see it. You had Davis Island written all over yourself, all right? Okay.
Just for the record, I'm in a teardown.
Very good. That's right. So we're going to work first-time home buyers with vigor because that's what's going to lead us to, and then we're going to list by referral only. All right? We are not going to dance for our dinner. All right? We're not going to have the best listing presentation that's going to compete with Smith & Associates. All right? How are you going to get that listing from Smith? It's because Smith never got in the door. Because you got the deal because they didn't interview anybody else. That's how you got it. Right? I mean, that's the win right there. All right? This is simple. Are you believing it? Are you really believing that? Yes. Okay. All right. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to have that long-term vision. All right. There's a reason why I used to serve apples, but now I changed it to oranges because when I started introducing this concept, the first time we did it apple orchard as opposed to orange groves. Right, it's fine. Same concept, right? Apple orchard, orange groves, they are now. Because remember, corn, the bad news about corn is it's an annual, right? You plant it, you eat it, you chop it down to harvest it, and you come back, and every year it's like, plant more corn? Yep. Again, right? Again? Yep. Okay. That's the bad news about corn. And that's the way I built my real estate career, right? And so I finally learned after I got out of it, right, or built this real estate company, there's a better way that I could teach agents how to actually have a business within their business. And so I introduced the concept of apple orchards, which is it's a perennial, okay, not an annual. Right? The bad news about apples or oranges is that they take longer to get going, but once they get going, you don't have to chop down the tree to get the fruit. Right? The fruit's there, you pick it. Now you still got to come around, tend it, prune it, and fertilize it, and take care of it a little bit. Excuse me. But it can pay off. You could eventually, imagine this, right? That you we'll go with 40 because we're going to learn to work 40-hour work weeks. All right? 40 acres of oranges, all right, that are fully producing, right? That you have a workforce that goes in and picks those oranges, takes them to market, sells them, does all the work, and all of a sudden you've got an agreement with them because they're your orange trees, that 25% of it of whatever they sell it for, the commission that they earned, comes back to you as you're sitting on your villa in Tuscany. Right? That's the long-term play here. Now what happens is, to further our illustration, there are times, if I take our 40 acres, that's our time, right? Initially, we may need to plant 30 acres of corn to get the bills paid, right? But I'm not going to allow you to only plant corn. That's how I built my business, and it was wrong, right? I was on this perennial hamster wheel and never stopped, right? I rested literally about half a day on January 1st, okay? I'd bend over and Probably because I tried to sit and open a house on January 1st and nobody showed up, all right? Because I was just going to go, man. I was just, I was selling 100 homes a year, all from people I was meeting these traffic generating events. And I got arrogant and cocky and stupid. All right, imagine that, me? Yeah, okay. I know the stupid part's really hard to imagine, but arrogant and cocky is easier. All right, I said, you know what, I'll create 100 transactions out of thin air every year. And I was. I didn't parlay my old clients. It's stupid, right? Why would I not? You got all these people that were satisfied with why wouldn't I just, hey, look, let me foster those relationships a little bit, right? And see if they can drive some business to me. But no, I'm just going to go create 100 new ones, 100. And I was. And stuff came into me, but it was totally by accident. There was not a designed program in place to try and garner continued business from my past relationships, right? I want better for you. So initially, we may take 30 acres of corn because we need money now, but I'm not going to allow you to only do corn. It may be 38 and 2, but we're going to start some orange groves, all right? Because eventually, I'd want you to have, let's say, 10 acres of oranges. It may take 2 years for those to actually be producing what 10 acres of corn could have produced. But the good news is that once they're doing it, we don't chop it. It's not that hamster wheel, right? And then what we might start doing is, okay, we're going to take, now that those are producing, we're going to take another 10 acres of corn away, plant some new orange saplings, right? And it may take a while, but vision yourself 5, 8, 10 years from now, having 10 acres or 40 acres of all oranges producing fruit, somebody else is picking them, and you're reaping the benefits, all right? That is possible in this business for those who decide to get it done, all right? So, how many of you read the book? Okay, awesome. Tell me some thoughts about the book, first of all. Anybody want to just initial overall perspective?
Easy to read.
Easy to read, good. I love that one. That's a good one. There is no wrong answer. But if you don't give me an answer, there is no right answer either. Yeah.
I'm still reading.
Yep.
It seems easy to apply.
Easy to apply. Because it's really the story of, it's easy to read because it's a story, it's a narrative, right? It's easy to apply because you can see, hey, look, you know what? They're not asking you to really do anything. Now, here's the other thing. Here's one of my perspectives. Yeah, that's a huge buffet table, isn't it? To try and implement all the stuff that's in that book would be impossible, right? It'd be virtually impossible to apply everything, okay? However, there are a lot of, and what I'm learning as I'm refining how we're teaching the book is, that's why I did away with 3 or 4 slides last night. I'm going to hone it down into the stuff that really makes a difference, and then I'm going to encourage you to grab some things that would seem like they connect with you. You know, some people say, I would never do a housewarming open house for somebody. Other people are like, that's right up my alley. By the way, that's genius. Right? So you sell somebody a home afterwards, hey, look, let me, you know what? I've got a lender that's willing to come in. I've got a title agent. All right, lender's bringing Sonny's barbecue. Sarah's bringing the drinks. All right, and we're just gonna. And your whole job is not to wander around with your 3-piece suit on with your name badge and handing out cards. Hey, by the way, anybody you know looking to buy or sell? Anybody you know looking to buy? No, you know your job is spoon out baked beans. Seriously. Right? You got 30 of their friends coming in, oh, this is great. And so how do you know Susie and John? Well, how do you know Susie and John? And we're having a dialogue back and forth, next thing, oh, you were the real, how'd you get, well, I hooked them up with, Madison. I wanted to call you Francine for a second, but that's okay. I hooked them up with Madison. Madison took them over, got them $15,000, and boom, right? No money out of pocket. Really? Do you think it could? I don't know. Do you have a card? How much do you like this? Here's my card, or do you have a card? Which is better? Yeah. Do you have a card? Okay? Always. Right? Every time. All right? Instead of, how am I going to get everybody to sign in? What am I getting? Remember we told you, how do I get people to sign in my open houses? I didn't. All right? Remember all my cajoling in the world? If I put them in a headlock to make them sign, do you think they're giving me legitimate information? Right? Okay? You're cutting off my blood flow to my head. I don't care, you're not leaving here without signing in. Whatever, right? I don't care. I had 36 people through. I only had 3 people that I had their information when they left. The 3 I wanted. Why? Because the other 36, if I had gotten the other 33 to sign in when I called them, were they going to return my call? Nope. So why waste my time? Right? I want people to say, hey, yeah, let's connect. Please call me. Let's go look at property tomorrow. Right? Let's go make this happen, all right? So, that being said, any other thoughts on the book? Sarah?
If you genuinely open your heart to helping others, it's naturally going to come back to you, like easy as you breathe.
Love that. Hashtag that one. That's a long hashtag too. Sarah hashtag. All right. That's so true. If you just go, that's what the whole generosity generation's all about. By the way, I was looking for my book and I gave it away. All right. Anybody have a book with them? The hardcover? No. Okay. The only reason I'm asking is because of the page numbers. Page 12. You want to read it for us? Can you read? Page 12. I think there's your generosity generation defined.
Basically, I mean, the more you give, the more you get. Jay shows business people like you and me how to turn our relationships into referrals. There's no catch, she added, perceiving his skepticism. You want me to read?
That's right. That's perfect right there. Okay? Basically, it means the more you give, the more you get. Right? We have had it backward too long. We're going out looking for referrals before we've earned the right to get the referral. Right? So instead, we go give massive value first. Here's the way I would like to describe this part. So you go give massive value first. Imagine a fulcrum and a board, right? Okay, let's put it in layman's terms. A teeter-totter. Seesaw? Okay, gotcha. All right, just want to make sure I was connecting with you. All right. Is that a regionalized term? Who calls it a seesaw? Who calls it a teeter-totter? I wonder if there's a reason why we do that. Like at West Coast, west of the Mississippi calls it this, and like pop and soda or whatever they say it is. All right, anyway, not that it matters. All right, so I go give massive value first, then someone's sitting on the other side of the fulcrum, right? All right, with this massive value, and they're like, man, this is out of balance, right? Psychologically, I feel like something's wrong here. I need to go give that massive value back. Because we all like balance in our lives, right? And when somebody, you're not asking, hey, look, you owe me one. All right? That's not that. All right? They just know they owe you. Right? They took care of you, or you took care of them, I should say. And they're like, you know what? Next time I get a chance, I got to make sure I take care of Sarah. Whatever that might look like. Sarah gives you a great Facebook class, right? And all of a sudden, next thing you know, you've got 3 deals. You're like, where did I get these deals? Hey, you know what? They're all coming from these Facebook posts that I can tell when someone's met with Sarah, right? Because their Facebook post says, increasing my knowledge in the industry, all right, or whatever, and that's perfect.
My customer.
What's that?
To better serve my
To better serve my customers, exactly, and that's a great line. That's because you're telling your community that's what you're growing and you're enhancing. But I can tell that's why it works, right? But all of a sudden you get some business out of that, and you're like, dadgum, all 3 of these came from that stuff that I learned at Sarah's. You know what? One of them is a listing, and it just went to contract, and my seller's asking me what title company I should use. Seriously, I mean, is there even a question that would occur? No, it wouldn't, right? Now, did Sarah ask for that business? No, she just gets it, right? Because she gives massive value first. That's all you're going to do. What's that look like? That's what we're going to work on, right? What does that look like? You're grabbing coffee with somebody and say, hey, I just want to catch up. Sarah and I were talking earlier today as well about how easy it is to have reasons to call and say hey to somebody, right? Back in the day, we didn't have Facebook where I could sit there and say, hey, I saw it was, you forgot their kids' names, but all you do is go back to look at August 8th's post. First day of school for Judy, first day of school. How many first day of school posts did you see, right? Boy, kids are grown. Boy, it's amazing. Hey, you know what? We haven't had a chance to catch up. I'd love to catch up and see how things are going. Hey, I see that you're taking a hot yoga class now. That's awesome. That's great. You know what I mean? Let's, whatever. Okay, find a reason to call, but now it's even easier because you can just tell what they're interested in now, right? You just kind of catch up with them and say, hey, it's been a while. Let's catch up. We're going to talk about how we work through that process. Because remember we talked about 2 numbers, 150? 150, write this number down. 2 numbers down. 150 and 22,500. Right? How advanced a database marketing, what's a CRM even stand for again? Client Relationship Manager. There you go, management system. Okay, if you only have 150 to take care of, I mean, how tough is that? It's not that hard, right? You guys are wanting a CRM because you got 8,462 contacts. Okay, whatever. All right, start with 150. Because 150, no 150, and 150 squared is 22,500. You take care of 150 people, you will never want for business again. Period. That's it. This is simple. Yeah. Okay, 150 I can do, right? 28,643? I can't. How am I ever? You get overwhelmed, right? 150? Doable. That's all you need. 150, because 150 squared is 22,500. Done. Game over. You win. Hashtag you win. All right. Okay, so we got that defined. Old way versus the new way. Who else? Anybody got the book, or are we gonna, Michelle, you're going to be our designated reader? All right, page 13. Talk about the old way. We did this something on page 13.
I'm there. You know where I'm.
I have to think.
Now you're making,
That's all right. No problem. That's okay. That's right. On 13. Okay, in the old days. In the old days, the only way to get business was cold calling, door knocking, and other ways to market to strangers and going to bold. I'm just kidding. It didn't say that. All right. All right, Sarah, what'd you say you wanted to call the class? Humble or something?
Yeah, humble.
Yeah. Because we were going to learn to be humble and go give massive value first, and then next thing you know. All right, anyway. So I added that little piece in there. In the old days, the only way to get business was cold calling, door knocking, and other ways to market to strangers. Everybody spent time and money trying to attract and close people they'd never met. In the generosity generation, we can spend our time, energy, effort, and money on people we actually like and trust. In the end, those are the ones who are most valuable to our business. Hello? Is that rocket science? Right? Why spend all this money trying to market to strangers? You don't need a billboard. You don't need your face on the back of a bus. All right? Or a bus bench. Now, again, some people have built their businesses that way. I get it. Anybody work the Safety Harbor area? Okay, Kim Decanini? Kim and the Colonel. Right, exactly. Okay, Kim's been the bus bench queen since before the Colonel was around. Okay? All right, it went from Kim to Kim and the Colonel, right? And so, it is...
She still has them.
Oh, I know she does. And we worked at the Safety Harbor Spa. We were, and I would see her a lot at the treadmill. She'd say, "Hey, Bob, did you sell any houses today?" I said, "Yeah, I did actually." I said, "You know, I'm not quite up to your," because I was selling $80,000 homes, and she was selling $300,000 homes. And I'd say, "Yeah, I had to sell 4 times just to make sure I keep up with your, you know." And she goes, "Oh yeah, you're wasting your time with all those things. Yeah, just you know." And I'd say, "How about you, Kim?" "Oh yeah, I got a couple." And I said, "You know what? I loved it. Let's compare nets." She goes, "What?" I said, "Loved." You know, I knew her well enough. I could have this discussion with her. I said, "I'll compare nets with you all day long." She said, "What?" I said, "I'm still using the same $128 in marketing materials that I did 4 years ago when I bought my first bank foreclosure open house signs, right? And how much does a bus benches cost you every month?" Right? Totally, again, it works for you. I'm not saying one way is better than another. I'm just, you know, like I didn't have the money to invest in bus benches, so I figured out a different way. That being said, let's stop trying to attract strangers and just go work with the people who already know, like, and trust us. Right? And we're going to learn how to develop this network, our own little B&I group, and that's why Jim's going to do a little breakout session on the Savvy Card, and how the Savvy Card can be a huge benefit to you working with other vendors to help them get more business. Who are the best referrers of business? Thank you. Other business owners. They understand the power of the introduction. They understand that power, right? Your daughter's preschool teacher is nice, but she doesn't understand the power of the introduction, right? She's getting paid no matter what, all right? And it's not based upon how many customers walk in her door. Do you understand the power of somebody referring somebody to your restaurant? Mm-hmm. Absolutely, right? So with that in mind, go hang out with those kind of people, because they will reciprocate the introductions, because they appreciate it all the more. Not saying ignore the other people. I'm just saying you start hanging around more business owners, look out. Can you get 150 business owners in your group? All right? We'll probably have to go 150 cubed. Somebody help me with that. What's 22,000 times 150? Anybody got their calculator out? It might get an E because it gets pretty big. All right? Okay, so old way versus new way. What can I do to help you? What do you need right now? It's not, let's get together for coffee. And by the way, at the end, I'm going to say, by the way, anybody looking to know, buy or sell real estate in the next 6 months? Got that out. All right? Well, that's what we're taught to do, right? And next thing you know, you call them for coffee and they say, I can't make it. Because last time you had commission breath and coffee breath. All right? Okay, but that's a bad combination. Right? But if you had, how can I help you breath? What's your biggest challenge right now? What can I help you? How can I help you overcome anything that's going on right now? Boy, they're calling you, hey, can we get together for coffee again? Right? Totally different attitude in the way we're going about it, right? So you go give massive value first. Everything from finding a good boat prop repair person for their bent prop on their boat. You ever had a bent prop, Jim?
Nope.
Okay, good news. That's because Jim's a good boater. He knows how to. Need to send you out to the 7th Fleet out in the Pacific, where we got some guys trouble with, driving around out there. Exactly. Yeah, he is. That 3-star generals. Yeah, exactly. All right. I love this part of the book, Upward Spiral of Life. And then, by the way, we're just going to cover some of this stuff. Remember this part in the book? Learn, implement, fail, evaluate. Upward Spiral of Life, L-I-F-E. We learn it. What's that word? Yeah, that's where a lot of us get stuck. All right? So remember bagel to bagel? We talked about going bagel to bagel to bagel to bagel. All right, you guys learn, and then we learn, and then we learn, and then we learn, and we never implement. Right? But to actually move up, we got to learn so we can implement. And when we implement, sometimes we're going to fail, and sometimes we're going to have success. If you're Sammy Gustafson, you now have 3 new buyers you didn't have 2 weeks ago because you decided to implement, right? And by the way, she posted out. I said, you know what? That's all. So she'd never been to a Rays game, so I had 2 Rays tickets for last night in our seats down there. So she went, and I guess she has twins. Did you know that, Jim? Yeah. Okay, twin little boys. She texted me a picture. They're like 18 months maybe, and there's just all these 4 little heads sitting there. And the game was a great picture. I have to show it to you. But she was so pumped. All right, and I said, who else am I going to send these to if you're just an implementer? All right, I love implementers. So learn, implement, fail, and then on our failure, what are we going to do with that? We're going to evaluate that. And we're going to learn again from our failure, right? And we're going to keep moving up. We're going to be better and better and better next time. How do I get better with people that are walking into my traffic generating events? Go have traffic generating events. You fail at some of those. Boy, I screwed up that one. Okay. Here's the good news about a good traffic generating event. By the time you realize you screwed up, there's somebody else walking in the door. Right? If I've only got 1 up for the day and I screwed up, like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? You know what? I hated that accounting cubicle, but it's not looking so bad now. All right? At least I can pay my bills. All right? You start having those conversations with yourself, right? So we're going to go through that upward spiral of life. We're going to communication pyramid. Love this, right? That's part of the main part of the book too. The communication pyramid. When you go up, right? What's the highest level?
Eyeball.
Yep, eyeball to eyeball, face to face, right? That's where you're going to be most effective, right? Face to face. That's why the communication, the more we can be in the influential zone, remember those top 3, all right? More we can be in the influential zone, the better off we are. That's how am I going to time block my time? I'm going to try and get as much influential time in front of people as I can, right? And leave all the mass marketing and all that kind of stuff to other people, all right? If I get a 0.5% return on my mass marketing mailing, I feel like I've done a great thing, all right? All right. Whatever, all right? Go get in front of people. But I don't have a lot of money to spend. Great. Open house signs. Somebody was selling them for like $3 a piece or something. Bank foreclosure open. I got agents that we've taught this 2 years ago, right? That are now, their orange groves are going, but if sometimes their orange groves get diseased a little bit and they start to wane and there's not as much fruit coming off of them, they dust off their bank foreclosure open house signs, stick them in the yard and generate business. All right? It's always something you can fall back on as well. And again, remember there's other things. I got people that are sitting at what are those called?
Flea market.
Flea markets, right? They're sitting in flea markets, has foreclosure information here signs. All right? Why? Because people are walking by. They're just getting a chance to shake a hand. Right? It works. Right? I'm just telling you it works. All right? Okay. Now we're getting to the committed. This is simple. All right? Going to talk about, here's what I want you to focus on, all right? Here are some our commitments, and then we're going to have some time to discuss a little bit. Morning ritual. Anybody remember that part of the book?
Yes.
Okay? Involves things like affirmations, being ready to go, already having pre-planned your night the night before. You're ready to go. You're going to eat healthy. You're going to work out. You're going to have your writing your blessings book. You're going to do your daily affirmations. If you aren't familiar with these terms, go back and revisit that part of the book. It's all important. Remember, this is the part of the personal growth change so that we can get to the part where people walking into our traffic generating events feel like there's just something about her. I don't know what it is. It's hard to put my finger on, but I just want to be around that, right? And that's where we want to be, okay? And we all are going to get there because if you want to get there, and some of you are already there. All right, just need to go do it now, okay? And you're ready to go. Pre-sleep ritual. Remember this one? Okay, people call it meditation. I call it prayer. I'll tell you this, slow it down, right? Do not try and go to sleep and having just 7-10 tenths of a second ago, set your phone down. Not going to work. My 14-year-old, all right, we have learned that we have to get him, we control his electronics, and then but for sure an hour before it's time to go to sleep, we've got to get off of, he's going to read a book, and it's not going to be a book on here, right? It's got to be something, he's got to slow it down, all right? I'll tell you this, I do a quick mini checkup with myself on my pre-sleep ritual. Just quick, let me check on my day. All right? Is there anything that's hit me that I need to do? All right? Something's just, all right? Just a quick check. I encourage, by the way, I'm a Bible reader. I love the Bible. I think it's most of the good books that come out of your self-help books, all right? Just different versions of different verses, all right? Saying it in a different way, all right? Check it out. I challenge you. If you haven't read the Bible in a while, I challenge you to do it, all right? If you're looking for a place to start, again, when a Judeo-Christian society, I'll give you Old Testament stuff, all right? So that way it works for our Jewish society and also for our Christian society. There are 31 Proverbs, all right? And there are 30 to 31 days generally in every month. Read the proverb that associates with what's today, the 23rd, all right? Read Proverbs 23 today, all right? Try that. I'm just telling you. Proverbs are awesome, by the way. Where there are no oxen, the stable is clean. All right? As a door swings on its hinges, so a sluggard swings in his bed. Ouch. That's in the Bible. That's an awesome proverb right there. Right? Basically, and here's one. If you don't work, you shouldn't eat. How's that? Ooh. Yeah. That's very un-American right now. Okay? Right? Okay. Pre-leave ritual. I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this. All right. In the pre-leave ritual, go back and visit it in the book. By the way, back in the book, there's an awesome... Can I borrow your book again? Yeah. See? Look at that. That's where you were, right? Yeah. Okay. What do we call this? Index, concordant, what is it? Glossary. Glossary. Thank you very much. All right. Been a while. All right. I need to go back to verbal advantage. All right. There's an awesome glossary that has all the definitions, everything you want. Okay, incredible stuff. Talking about all the different types of things, the 7 things that should be in a good power note, all that kind of stuff is there. It's an incredible book. But if you take it the pre-leave ritual, I've taken this. Here's what we've done. This is awesome. Catch this. This will revolutionize your time blocking. All right, if that's been an issue for you, which most people it is. All right, catch this. So, how many of you have a desk, actual desk you work from? Anybody? Okay, I don't. My desk is here. All right, so my desk roams. Sometimes it's at a library, sometimes it's all over different parts of the country, whatever. So whatever that is, but I'm going to clean up before I go. Can I just allow me 4 minutes to tell you a story when I discovered this? And it took like the 3rd time I taught this, and I finally got it. All right, in the pre-leave ritual, here's what we discovered. The 1st and 10 that he references, that's also called the 1st and 10. It's like your most important things you need to do that day, right? Okay? That's a to-do list. All right? So don't think, I discussed it. In the book, it's kind of described a little differently, but Michael and I have kind of hashed through this a little bit. And I said, hey, look, I'm going to teach you this way. He goes, that's fair enough. Let's go for it. Here's the 1st and 10. I think it's a to-do list. Because here's what I found. That if I have a list of things that I'm going to do, that I need to do right now, right? Boy, it's so much easier for me to do if I have call the appraiser on Main Street. Boom, here's his number. His name's John, and here's his number, right? Call the home inspector on such and such. Follow up with the seller on and here's their email, right? Everything you're going to do, again, 1st and 10 is just kind of a football term, but it can be 1st and 5, it could be 1st and 15, all right, depending who got the penalty, all right? All right, so it just depends on where you are, right? So it doesn't matter, but the thing is it's written down, it's ready to go. So now take that idea and in our pre-leave ritual, before I close up shop, which means wrap up my book bag, all right, and put all my stuff away, I'm going to just tidy things up, okay? Because usually what happens is you look at your watch and it's time to go pick up the kids. Car line time. All right, oh, here we go. What are we going to do, right? So I'm going to look at my watch and I'm going to say, okay, I've got 10 minutes before I go. So before I start wrapping up, I've got 4 files open, right? I'm doing a search for this person, okay? So now I'm in it, though, right? When you're in it, you're in it, okay? So you know exactly. So you're going to write everything you need to do on that file down before you close it. Well, it's going to take you 10 minutes. So you write these, and so now you've created your 1st and 10 for the next morning, right? Because what happens is you don't do that right now, and the next morning you open up those 4 files again, and you're like, oh, what? Okay, and what could have taken you 15 minutes to get done takes you 1 hour and 45 minutes because you got to locate where you were in the process to get back into the swing of it. Are you with me? This will revolutionize. I'm telling you, these little small tweaks will change your life. So now I write it down, so now I can just bang through that tomorrow, right? It's already there. Plus, okay, we started teaching that, and then the next time what we discovered as a group was, I discovered this for myself. Once I got it off the file and out of my head and onto paper, I allowed myself to, and here's the term we use, flip the sign. Right? How many times I work this business 24/7? And you can, right? But how about this? What if you owned a print shop? Is there a time at a print shop that you could say, I'm closed for the night? Flip the sign, right? Don't be afraid to flip the sign in this business. All right? You need to. In order to keep balance in your life, you got to get to the point where you can flip the sign, right? So, what it allows me to do is mentally flip the sign because I've removed it from my to-do list in the air that's bugging me, and it's on paper, written down, and I know I can therefore now go play basement hockey with the boys. Right? Because I can be fully engaged playing basement hockey and be engaged in playing basement hockey with the boys instead of, oh yeah, I'm kind of halfway there, halfway not, because I didn't really take care of stuff. Are you with me? It's because a very mind-freeing event. When you get it off your mind and onto paper, so you know it's done. Now, have there been other times that something will pop in, I need to go add to it? Yeah, I've done that. But I go add to it, and then I come back, and you know what? Now I'm engaged again, right? I can play the role that I'm playing at the time and not have everything's bugging me. Are you with me? I'm just telling you, and we're going to talk a lot about this pre-leave ritual in the 1st and 10, how it can revolutionize your time blocking and allow you more freedom. Where is my clicker? Oh, thanks. Okay. All right, so we got the pre-leave ritual, time block. We just talked about that. It's going to help you. I'm telling you guys, whatever you want to call this, all right, you got a plan. Without a plan, you lose. Period. All right, and stick to it and adhere to it. Even to the point of sometimes when your friends call, hey, you know what, I got it, but you know what, I just want to be up front, be full disclosure, I got 2 minutes. Right? Agents will call me and sometimes they'll say, well, that's kind of rude. Well, you know what, I'm glad you caught me and I'm happy to answer your question on Saturday afternoon, but just so you know, Samuel's soccer game's starting in 3 minutes. All right, so we can get this done in 3, I'm good. All right, if not, I'm flipping this sign. All right, and I'm going to daddy time and going to make this happen. All right, so everybody good? And so we all agree not to be offended. But people respect that. Oh yeah, no problem. They want to be, quite frankly, they'd rather get their answer in 3 minutes and be done anyway. All right? Physical fitness and eating right, I'm going to hound you on this. I am. All right? Because it makes a difference. Makes a huge difference. When you feel good about what you've done and what you are doing, people are attracted to you. Period. Right? And I'm talking, we can take small baby steps along the way. All right? I don't want you to, we're not running marathons by the end of this week. Okay? Let's just go take some small baby steps and grow as we go. Fair enough? Okay? Because I'm just telling you, you feel better about you when you feel better about you. There's some of that great wisdom that I get. All right? So you come climbing to the mountain. Oh, great one. How do I make change in life? Oh, young grasshopper. In order to make change, you must change. I mean, right? There's nothing new, right? I'm not dispensing all this. It's just how are we going to be held accountable to do this, right? How are we going to make ourselves get to there? All right? 10 power notes. I'm going to challenge you to do these. This is where some of our accountability. All right? Now, you're going to write the perfect power note. Don't follow this, okay? Upward slanted, right, blue ink. All that stuff matters, right? But don't not do it because, oh, my blue pen broke. All right? Okay, quit looking for an excuse not to do it. Just go write a note to somebody. Oh, but it didn't have didn't have a call to action. Didn't have a compelling PS. I would write my notes, but I can't figure out a compelling PS. Write a note without a PS. All right? And then you'll whatever. The PS is always good because it's usually some type of call to action, but we'll get better at that, right? We'll just learn that. All right, the book kind of covers it. Have a traffic generating event. If you need business now, go have a traffic generating event. How do I do it? Figure it out. You're smart. All right, you drove yourself here today. Okay? If you got here, all right, you are smart enough to go have a traffic generating event. You have the physical and mental capabilities to do so. I fully believe it. All right? Because it's not that hard. Because matter of fact, it's simple. Yeah, it is. All right? Get an accountability partner. You have to have one. Have to. All right? HAFTA. Have to. All right? All right? Sunday night ritual. One of my favorite rituals. These 4 rituals, morning, pre-sleep, pre-leave. All right? All very important. I told you I took 6 slides or whatever it was and condensed them to this one. All right? The Sunday night ritual is when we're going to do our tweak. We're going to check out our previous week, see how we did, make small adjustments to our upcoming week so we can make sure we're on track on a weekly basis. All right? I'm just telling you, if you do that, you are 52 times ahead of most realtors in the United States of America. Because most of them set their goals on January 1st and never look at them again. Right? But if you're going to actually know your numbers or where you're supposed to be, then you can make weekly adjustments, all right, that are small. They feel so much easier to do because we're catching our overweightness at 2 pounds instead of 80. Right? So we can make that adjustment as needed. Fair enough? Okay. Lock these in. Matter of fact, let's write these down. Okay? This is your goals for the next 2 weeks. All right? I'm going to ask you to do the morning ritual. Now, how many times? As many as you can. All right? Get into a pattern. Pre-sleep ritual. Just start. All right? I don't care. Read something else. Read Deepak Chopra or whatever. Something else. I don't care. Something's going to calm you down. All right? Read something that's not Facebook, that's not politically motivated. All right? Because that'll get you fired up in about 10 seconds. All right? And just start to slow yourself down. All right? Good idea. Take a picture of it. I will post the slides once I'm done teaching on Friday. All right, they'll be posted. Those of you overachievers, if you want to email me, I need it sooner than that. Email me and I can get it. I'll email you a copy of the slides. But everybody's on the 100K group page. Yes. Okay. If you're not on the 100K group page, down here, facebook.com/groups/the100K club. Get there because I sent you one last email this time, right? As a reminder. No more reminders. All right. If you had registered, did you register? Or did you show up? If you had registered, you should have got an email from me, again, from the last time. All right? But if you haven't registered, that's okay. From now on, there's no more emails anyway, so don't worry about it, because I'm just going to post on reminders on the Facebook group page. Cool? All right? All right, so everybody got this, and I'll post this up. If you want to email me, you can email me. My email is somewhere there. It's Bob McD at Future Home Realty. Everybody got them? Yep. Okay. All right, your commitments to the team. All right, here's what we got to be willing to do. Willing to change, honest and accountable. Agree to read 1 book a month. We've already got our book down. If you haven't got a copy, by the way, this book that we're talking about, if you guys don't know, it's 7 Levels of Communication by Michael Maher, M-A-H-E-R. Okay? We're supposed to have read that by this time. If you haven't read it, finish it up. All right, make sure you get it locked down. Understand it, good deal. I see people waving their books at me. That's good news. All right, that's accountability. That's very important. Agree to read 1 book a month. Get 8 hours of sleep a night. Impossible. Yeah, well, okay. You know why it's impossible? This thing's still leaking. Because you're telling yourself it's impossible. You know why Zillow's killing your business? Because you're telling yourself Zillow's killing my business. You get what you say. Period. Right? I'm cringing. I told you my nephew's fighting for his life, right? My family hasn't learned this stuff. Sorry, my family has. My relatives, because remember my family is Jeanette, Joseph, Samuel, and Trixie. All right? Trixie's the 4-legged friend, right? Just okay. That's my family. My relatives have not learned this stuff. Right? So they're putting out a lot of bad. It's like, man, if I could just fly out to Reno and help you, because he happened to be in Tahoe, and they flew him over to Reno to get. So, just man, we got to watch what we're saying, because I'm a firm believer, man. You put stuff out there, you're going to get what you put out. All right, it festers out there and it grows. Right? Expect the good. So you know what? And again, if you're getting 6.5 now, make it your goal by the end of September to get 7, on average. Okay, and you know sleep is cumulative, so you can catch up. 9 plus 7 is 16 divided by 2 is? There you go. All right? See, you didn't know you math class. Drink 64 ounces of water a day. It's important. All right? It's important. There you go. That's a big bottle right there. 2 of those. That's it. Come on now. 2 of those. You wonder how you know why? Because you start going to the bathroom a lot more when you start drinking water like that. Right? It's right. See? Perfect. Okay? It'll flush it out of you. All right? There's stuff that needs to get out of you anyway. All right? Flush it out. Agree to perform 30 minutes cardiovascular exercise 3 times a week. All right? I'm going to be big on this. I'm telling you why. You will feel better about you. And when you feel better about you, you attract people, period. Right? It's just the way it goes. Volunteer at a nonprofit. Start thinking about that. Where's that going to be? You're going to teach Sunday school? You're going to work at the dog place? What's it called? Humane Society, thank you. All right. Suncoast Animal League, all the sort, whatever you're going to do, right? You're going to go pick up trash on Reddington Beach, right? Whatever. Go donate time. You know what happens? You go hang around other people, right? That are like-minded, that think like you, all right? And next thing you know, things are happening. You're connecting. It's one of your connection points, all right? Plus, you feel better about yourself. And when you feel better about yourself, you attract people. It's this amazing thing how that works, right? It just goes. So, donate 10% of your income to a church, synagogue, or other nonprofit. Yeah, but Bob, yeah, whatever. I'm just telling you, I get it. But Jeanette, I can't. All right? Jeanette was in charge of our finances, and she insisted early on when I swore there's no way we can. Right? Remember I told you last time, yeah, I can't live on 90%. Yeah, 90% of 50,000 you can't. But 90% of 200,000 you can. All right? Go make it happen. Worship once a week. Why that? Again, that's that group dynamic. Again, Bob, I'm de-churched. I get it. I mean, we talked about last time the reason churches are so bad because they're filled with people. All right? Okay? But are we surprised when we go to a hospital and there are sick people? No, we're not, right? We expect sick people at a hospital, so why should we expect perfect people at a church? Right? And remember, if you do find a perfect church, don't go. Because as soon as you go, it's no longer perfect. All right? Okay? So stay away from that. That being said, I get it, man. There's reasons to be teacher. If nothing else, spend some time to slow it down once a week to just, I like it in a group dynamic. Why? There are just things I learn. Right? There are things I learn in a group dynamic that I don't learn elsewhere. Right? It just works for me. Again, if it's totally anti what you do, this is not a mandatory. All right? I'm not going to do Life 360 and you checked in at church. All right? But I encourage you to investigate that again.
Can I tell a funny story?
Please.
There's a priest that was talking to somebody that hadn't been to church for a while and was trying to get him to come back to church, and the guy says to the priest, I don't want to go to church because it's just full of hypocrites. And the priest turns to him and says, well, what's one more?
What's one more? Exactly. That's right. And because we all are, by the way. All right. We start talking about, let's go back. You want to go back and talk about reading the Bible? Let's start Genesis 3. All right, 1 is talked about the creation, and then 3, that's when the serpent shows up and the apple's there, and next thing you know, all hell breaks loose. Literally. All right. Okay. And since then, it's been a pretty steady decline. All right? It's where we are. All right? Okay. All this is required discipline and accountability, but here are our 5 LYs. All right? I guarantee this to you. If you will decide that over the next period of 14 weeks or whatever it's going to be, all right? It's not going to be easy, but I guarantee that if you start to apply these principles, it's going to be a defining moment in your life, spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, physically, and financially. Those are pretty important LYs, right? And I like to think that a lot of times they go in that order, and if not in that order, at least this one's at the end. Okay, this is more of a byproduct of the other growth, right? And it's a good thing. Is it okay to have money? Okay, I say that to you because I grew up in a family where it wasn't okay to have money. Right? It was frowned upon. I went to where you were less holy, or you were more, the poorer you were, the holier you were. All right, according to them. All right? It was a sign of your godliness is how broke you were. Okay? Well, I don't know. And I went and read the Bible some more, and I don't think it says that, but that's okay. All right. Okay? My relatives can watch on YouTube, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, relatives. All right? Okay? All right, you can find this out. All right? Good deal? All right, so who has an accountability partner already? Awesome. I tasked you to come, all right? Next week, or next time we meet, by the way, here's the schedule from here on out, right? So here's what we're going to do. We'll have another book to read come next time, but for now, if you haven't read the book, read the book. If you have read it, start to dig through and go back and highlight some things and apply some of the things you're going to do. I'm going to challenge you, all right, to have a traffic generating event. Remember I saw there were 8 things that we had listed there? All right? Have a traffic generating event somewhere, somehow, some way. I don't know what that might look like. Now, what might that entail? It might entail you posting on 100K group page, hey, I'm struggling finding somebody. Does anybody, I've made 18 phone calls and none of these bank-owned people will let me sit open houses. Okay, and I guess what's going to happen? Within 5 minutes, there'll be a list of 8 different REO agents out there that are willing to, that have 42 listings, because they don't just have one, that they're willing to allow you to sit open houses at their places. All right? I'm just telling you, go figure it out, right? So make it happen. So you got to commit to those things. If you don't have an accountability partner yet, at the end by next time, if you still don't, all right, I'm going to go. What's that dude's name? Neil Clark Warren on you. I'm going to go eHarmony. All right, I will match you. All right, I'll go match.com. All right, because you need an accountability partner. All right, you got to have one to be successful in this. All right, so you're going to make sure we do that. Then start contemplating this. What are some? I'm going to challenge you to do this. Take 3 things from the book that you think would maybe push you a little bit to challenge you to apply. All right, and it could be any 3. It could be just the mere fact of going and talking to somebody about having coffee with somebody, right? Maybe that's a big step for you, okay? I get that, right? But utilize the 100K group page too, because there are people that will provide you with dialogue and scripts and all sorts of, there are 1,000, now we're over 1,000 members in that 100K group page, right? It's awesome. It's great information there. Just go, hey, you know what? What do you think, right? All right, what do you think? Colette, you posted a great one too about some good educational TV. What's your favorite? What's going on and how are you doing that? Because we talked about we're going to turn off the TV. The only time we turn on TV is if it's educational, right? If we're going to learn something from it, if we're going to grow, right? Then because there's some really good stuff out there, all right? But you got to seek it, right? You got to be very intentional in going to get it. Okay. So are we clear on tasks? All right. Of what yes. I want to make sure there's no ambiguity here. Yeah. All right. So we're clear on that, where we're going to head. Now here's the schedule. 2 weeks from today, I think it's September, is it like the 8th or something like that? 6th? 6th, okay. We'll be back in this room. All the sessions are going to go, because this is the last time I'm teaching live to everybody, right? And from here on out, I'm going to rotate live. So we'll be here. You will be the first live one next time. But from here on out, it's going to be 9:30 on Wednesdays, no matter where we are. So here's the other thing I'm going to challenge you to do, because I'm going to challenge the other groups to make sure that they're doing this, is that on the time that we're not live here, so 2 weeks from then, I'm going to be in Orlando teaching it live, but we're going to be Facebook Living it everywhere, okay? Now, here's the problem, and the easy thing to do with Facebook Live is just, I'll just watch it from home. Okay, and I get that, and that's my fear, right? But I'm going to encourage you, at least get together in groups of 3 or 4. All right? Find a place, go watch it together. Pick your office, pick some place, you know what I mean? If we're not doing it live. Sarah?
I'll rent this room
okay.
if everyone wants to come meet here on the 20th.
Okay, on the next one? Okay, good. See if it's available. Okay, very good. All right? On because the 6th will be here live, and then the 20th would be the next one. All right.
I'll post it in the group if it works out.
By the way, and I'll also post the upcoming meeting dates if you want to look at it. It's basically the 1st and 3rd Wednesday is when it's going to be, roughly. All right, there might be a few that we change up just because if there's 5 Wednesdays in a month or something like that. But yeah, Sarah, that'd be great. That'd be awesome. So if you want to meet there and do it. Now, what's going to happen, it's really real easy when it's Facebook Live to say, hey, look, I don't want to fight the Bayside Bridge, right? Guess what? It would have been real easy for the people when they woke up that morning to say it's 8 degrees. I don't want to get out and run, right? But I guarantee, if you got up at 8 degrees to go run, it'd be an interesting social experiment to see how many of those finished the Music City Marathon. My thought is that a high percentage of those 50 that showed up when it was 8 degrees at 5:45 a.m. finished the marathon. High percentage, right? Because they were committed. And that's what we're talking about here. Cool? Clicker, we're done. Anything else I can answer for our schedule? Everybody clear on what our goals are? Any questions I can answer? I'll stick around a little bit later because I'll make sure everybody can go. Total? Yeah. We've got 6 more sessions after this. Okay. So our goal, the reason we start them when we do is our goal, we'll be done the first week of November so that we're done before Thanksgiving and holidays and all that kind of, and all your excuses really start. All right. So it's Thanksgiving and I got to go put an elf on the shelf. All right.
Is it always live? Can you watch it afterwards?
Yeah, you know what? Who knows? I've never Facebook Live. We've done this, but the reason we're not going to do this is because this is usually we can put it up on YouTube, but I don't want to have Jim to drive out to meet me in Orlando and then go to Jacksonville to do it. So we're going to try and do it Facebook Live. We're going to do both of them next time. On the 6th, Jim will be here to do this, and we're also going to test the Facebook Living part. Does Facebook Live, can someone go back and watch it later?
Yeah.
Okay, and can we put Facebook Live, like, does it have to, if it goes through me, let's say it's my Facebook account, can we put it on the 100K page?
You can do it from the 100K page.
Perfect. And so if I do it from the 100K page, it's like, do my relatives get that post as well?
Only people.
Ah, good. All right, so I can get. That's good to know. All right. I just got to really train my mouth, all right? If that was the case, all of a sudden, because one thing if they could go hunt it down on YouTube, it's another thing if it's like posting on their Facebook. Oh, what's this? I'm offended. Well, guess what? Too bad.
We can also, we can comment.
What's that?
We can comment while you're live.
Right.
And you can see it in the answer.
So we'll probably have somebody monitoring that, so if there's any questions that I can answer while we're doing. Plus, it's, by the way, from here on out, we're not going to go through all the introductory stuff anymore. We're going to get down nitty gritty. Okay? We're going to roll up our sleeves and get to work. Right? Okay? The reason we do this the first 2 times is because a lot of times we have new people on the second time, and it's just a good thing to do. But after this, they can go back and watch the rerun. All right? From here on out, we're going to get down, roll up our sleeves, nitty gritty. Tiffany?
How does the accountability factor work?
As far as?
As far as, obviously you're not going to be here.
Yep.
How do we just get in the group and we hold each other accountable?
Well, you're going to have your one-on-one accountability partner, all right? And you're going to have the group as well, all right? Sarah's going to look into renting this room, so if you guys want to be consistent in coming here and seeing if this room would be available, all right? If not, you know what? I can't follow you around, make sure you're not stopping into Dunkin' Donuts and grabbing a, cherry on top, okay, as well. So it's just going to take that self-determination to make that happen. But if you have a good accountability partner, they're going to kick you in the arse and say, get here. All right? It's a good question, though. Fair enough? Yes?
How do I find you on YouTube? Is it the fall 2017?
Yeah. Are you FHR?
No.
Okay. Email me, or if you get Jim's email.
No, I meant YouTube. Did I say YouTube?
Yeah, you said YouTube. Okay. Because we post them to FHR University, but that takes a login to get to FHR University. But I think you can, Jim, could they really search for it on YouTube and find it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So just search, where's it going to be? Like, where's the YouTube link? Do you know?
Our YouTube link?
Yeah. Do you put, okay, so you put it in our channel.
YouTube.com/user/FHR training.
FHR training.
Yeah, if you search FHR training.
Okay.
Cool? And you can watch the last one.
So we search FHR training and we will find.
Well, but the Facebook Live, I think we're going to go, it should be posted on the Facebook, and I don't know if it'll be a link there or if you'll have to just scroll through the post, or we can bump it up so it's always there. Or we could pin the post maybe.
Everyone in the group will be notified that the group is live.
Got it.
We'll all get a notification that the group is
I'm glad we're doing the first one here when you're around, Sarah. That's awesome. That is good news. That is good news. All right. Yes?
For the 20th is going to be the Facebook Live, or from here on?
From here on, it's going to, well, on the 6th, from here on, it's going to be Facebook Live. Okay. The 6th, and then the next time it'll be live from Orlando. All right, and the next one will be live from Jacksonville, and then the next one live from Clearwater will be back here. So we're going to be live 2 more times here. I'm just gonna. I have to time block myself, and I've learned that I've got to be better at managing my time. So, cool. And there's technology is an amazing thing, and we'll make it happen. And there's going to be some self-reliance where you're going to have to step up and be, self-accountable, and
You can even go live from Nashville.
I could go live from Nashville once Sarah teaches me how to do it all. All right, so I could. Exactly, that's right. You're from the Grand Ole Opry. Nice. All right, okay. I could have gone live from the eclipse for you guys.
Could have.
See, I didn't have that special filter though. But it was kind of cool. I could have shown you how dark it got. It was kind of cool. Yes, ma'am.
And so today's session will be on the YouTube channel.
That is correct. How soon, Jim?
This one, I usually do it when I'm at home.
Okay, so by tomorrow or the day after?
Yeah.
Okay, tomorrow or the day after, Jim will load it up and and then feel free to share it. Yeah, you're good.
So we can go back and see the previous one.
Yes, previous one's already up there. Yep, previous ones. And you're FHR, so it's actually probably, well, I don't know if it is on the university as well. Did she get it's on FHRuniversity.com. And then you go there and you'll go down, and 100K has its own section. And you look at all of them.
So if I send your email, you will give me how to get into the...
FHR University, we don't have that because we don't want to give those out per se. But because the only reason is because if you're with a different brokerage, I don't want to get accused of, hey, you told my agent how to do this contract the wrong way. All right. Okay.
Just to learn this. I mean,
Yeah. But you can also go to YouTube and search for FHR training, and it'll be there too.
That's where they're stored, and then they're...
We don't have our own server. We just use YouTube server because it's that 4-letter F word we like, which is
Free.
Free. I love that F word. All right. Good deal. Cool. Any other questions? Everybody good? Great job showing up. Go apply. When you know what? Tag Sammy Gustafson and say, great job, Sammy. All right. She's working. She went and implemented, and she's killing it already. And I love that fact. Cool? Awesome. If you have any other questions at the end, let me know. All right. Good to see you guys.
thank you.